Who is the octopus? Is it just a strange creature with 8 arms, or is it something more? We often think of intelligence as something human. We see it in monkeys and dolphins. But an octopus is different. It is an invertebrate. This means it has no backbone. Most invertebrates, like insects or snails, are not known for being smart. Yet, the octopus breaks all the rules. It has a large brain for its body size, but its mind is not all in one place. Most of its neurons, its brain cells, are in its arms. Each arm can think and act on its own. It is like having 8 smaller brains working together with a central one. Scientists have long been fascinated by these creatures. They tell stories of octopuses that can solve puzzles. They can open jars from the inside to get a tasty crab. They can recognize individual people. Some have even been seen playing with toys, showing a sense of curiosity. This is rare in the animal kingdom. This playfulness suggests a mind that is not just surviving. It is a mind that is exploring its world. It wants to understand things. This is why we call them intelligent. They have a kind of intelligence that feels almost alien to us, so different from our own way of thinking. This unique brain structure makes them amazing problem solvers. Imagine trying to solve a puzzle with your hands, but your hands could also feel, taste, and make their own decisions. That is the world of an octopus. They can change their skin color and texture in a flash. They can disappear into any background. They can squeeze their entire body through a hole the size of their eye. This physical genius is connected to their mental genius. They are masters of their environment. They are survivors. This is why we wanted to know more. How smart is an octopus, really? Can it outsmart a system designed by human minds? Our journey into the mind of an octopus is not just about science. It is about connection. It is about seeing the world through another being's eyes. When you look into the eye of an octopus, you feel something looking back. There is a presence there, a consciousness. You are being watched and studied, just as you are watching and studying it. This understanding is the first step. We must respect the octopus as a thinking, feeling creature. Only then can we begin to ask the right questions. Our 100-day experiment was not just a test. It was a conversation with a mind from another world, right here on Earth. To understand this amazing mind, we needed a special test. We called it the Octopus Intelligence Arena. It was not a small, boring tank. It was a large, complex environment. The arena was filled with different objects. There were clear boxes, tubes, and special levers. The goal for our octopus, whom we named Kai, was simple. Every day, a delicious shrimp would be placed somewhere inside the arena. Kai had to figure out how to get it. The challenge was that the puzzle changed every single day. We wanted to see if Kai could learn and adapt, not just memorize one solution to one problem. The rules were straightforward. Kai had 15 minutes to solve the daily puzzle. If he succeeded, he got the shrimp. If he failed, the shrimp was removed, and he would have to wait until the next day. We watched him through cameras to avoid disturbing him. The arena itself was a marvel of design. It had different sections that could be opened or closed remotely. We could introduce new objects without ever putting our hands in the water. This was important. We wanted to test Kai's intelligence, not his reaction to a human looming over his tank. The system was designed to be a fair and neutral test of his abilities. On day 1, the test was simple. The shrimp was placed inside a clear box with a simple unlocked lid. For a human, this is no challenge at all. But for a creature with no bones and 8 arms that think for themselves, it's a new experience. We watched Kai approach the box. He flowed over it like water. His suckers tasted the surface of the plastic. He seemed to be mapping it out in his mind. He spent several minutes just exploring the box from every angle. It was not a frantic search. It was a calm and deliberate investigation. He was learning. His arms moved with a life of their own. One arm would probe a corner while another arm tested the strength of the lid's hinge. It was like watching 8 skilled detectives working a case together. We saw the very beginning of his problem-solving process. He wasn't just randomly trying things. He was gathering information. This careful approach was the first sign that we were not dealing with an ordinary animal. Kai was a thinker. The stage was set for a 100-day journey into his mind. We had no idea just how much he was about to teach us. The first month was a period of incredible learning for Kai. In the first week, the puzzles were all about simple mechanics. Opening lids, pulling plugs, and sliding open small doors. On day 2, the box had a latch. Kai figured it out in 12 minutes. He simply used his powerful arms to pull on the lid until the small plastic latch snapped open. It was a solution of brute force, not elegance, but it worked. By day 5, the puzzle was a screw-top jar. We had seen videos of other octopuses doing this, but we wanted to see it for ourselves. Kai did not disappoint. He wrapped his body around the jar, and his arms worked together to twist the lid. He got it open in just under 8 minutes. As the days went on, we started introducing more complex challenges. We added color cues. For example, a red lever would open a box, while a blue lever did nothing. At first, Kai ignored the colors. He would try both levers with equal force. But after a few days of this, something clicked. On day 15, he went straight for the red lever. He completely ignored the blue one. He had learned to associate the color red with a reward. This was a significant leap. He was not just solving physical puzzles anymore. He was now understanding and using abstract symbols. The puzzles grew harder still. We introduced sequences. He had to push a button first, then pull a lever. If he pulled the lever first, nothing would happen. This challenge stumped him for 2 full days. On day 21 and 22, he failed the test. He would get frustrated, sometimes squirting a jet of water at the cameras watching him. But on day 23, he got it. He slowly approached the button, gave it a deliberate push with the tip of one arm, and then immediately went to the lever. The box opened. The research team let out a cheer. He had solved a 2-step logical problem. By day 30, Kai was a master of the basics. He could solve any puzzle involving lids, latches, levers, and basic color association in under 5 minutes. His movements were no longer hesitant. They were confident and precise. He seemed to enjoy the challenge. As soon as he was placed in the arena, he would eagerly start exploring for the new puzzle. He had learned the rules of the game. He understood that every day brought a new test and that a shrimp was his prize. The first phase of our experiment was a stunning success, but the real surprises were yet to come. Kai's intelligence was not just about solving the puzzles we gave him, it was also about finding ways to beat the system itself. He was a born troublemaker, a true escape artist. His first major surprise for us came around day 35. The daily puzzle involved a long, clear tube with the shrimp at one end. The other end was blocked by a heavy ball. The intended solution was for Kai to push the ball out of the way, but Kai found a different way. He looked at the tube, looked at the ball, and then seemed to decide it was too much work. Instead, he found a new target, the water outflow valve for the entire arena. The valve was a small opening, protected by a screw-in grate. It was part of the tank's plumbing, not the test. We never thought he would pay any attention to it. But Kai did. He spent 10 minutes methodically unscrewing the grate with 2 of his arms. His other arms kept him anchored. Once the grate was off, he aimed his siphon, his water jet, directly into the valve. he shot a powerful stream of water into it, causing a pressure sensor to trip. This sensor was a safety feature. It automatically shut down all the pumps and unlocked all the puzzle doors in the arena. The tube with the shrimp popped open. Kai calmly collected his prize. We were speechless. He hadn't solved the puzzle. He had hacked the entire system. He had found a weakness in the arena's design and exploited it to get his reward. It was a stunning display of creative problem-solving. He had connected an action, squirting water into a valve, with a result that had nothing to do with the puzzle in front of him. This was not simple trial and error. This was observation, planning, and execution. He had been watching how his world worked, and he used that knowledge to his advantage. From that day on, we had to redesign our safety protocols. Another astonishing moment happened on day 42. The puzzle was a maze made of clear walls. He had to navigate the maze to reach the shrimp in the center. After trying the maze for a few minutes, he seemed to give up. He climbed up the side of one of the clear walls. We thought he was just exploring. But then he did something incredible. He pulled himself completely out of the water, balanced on top of the thin plastic wall, and crawled over the top of the maze. He then dropped down directly on top of the shrimp. He had completely ignored the intended path and found a brilliant shortcut. He literally thought outside the box. Kai's clever tricks forced us to re-evaluate our entire experiment. We thought we were testing him, but it soon became clear that he was also testing us. He was showing us the flaws in our thinking. We had designed the puzzles based on human logic. We expected him to follow a linear path from problem to solution. But Kai's mind didn't work that way. He saw the entire system as one big puzzle. The plumbing, the walls, the cameras, everything was part of the game for him. He was teaching us that intelligence isn't just about following rules. It's about knowing when and how to break them. His actions forced us to become better scientists. After he hacked the outflow valve, we had to install a new octopus-proof grate. After he climbed over the maze wall, we had to add a lid to the top of the maze. Every time he outsmarted us, we had to adapt the system. It became a kind of arms race. We would design what we thought was a perfect foolproof puzzle. Then Kai would spend a day showing us exactly how it was not foolproof. He was a master quality control tester, finding weaknesses we never imagined. One of the most humbling lessons he taught us was about our own assumptions. On day 55, we introduced a puzzle that required him to pull a rope. The rope was dangling in the middle of the arena. He ignored it. For the full 15 minutes, he completely ignored the rope. He tried to pry open the box directly. He even went to check the outflow valve again. He failed the test. We were confused. It was a simple task. The next day, we tried the same puzzle. Again, he ignored the rope. A junior researcher had an idea. "Maybe he doesn't like the texture," she said. We replaced the rough rope with a smooth plastic chain. The next day, with the smooth chain in place, Kai solved the puzzle in under 30 seconds. He went directly to the chain, pulled it, and collected his shrimp. We were stunned. He wasn't unable to solve the puzzle. He was unwilling. He simply did not like the feel of the rough rope on his sensitive suckers. He had a preference. He had a personality. He wasn't just a subject in an experiment. He was a partner in it, with his own opinions and feelings. He was teaching us that to understand his intelligence, we first had to understand him as an individual. Our daily sessions turned into a fascinating duel. As Kai got smarter, the system had to get smarter too. We were no longer just testing him on simple tasks. We were designing challenges meant to counter his specific, tricky strategies. After he learned to unscrew things, we started using latches that required pushing and sliding, not twisting. These were harder for his arms to manipulate. After he learned to use brute force, we made the puzzle boxes out of stronger materials. We wanted to force him to think, not just to rip things open. The game was evolving. From day 60 to day 80, we entered a new phase of the experiment. We introduced puzzles that required foresight and planning. One puzzle, on day 68, involved two separate boxes. One box contained a special tool, a short plastic stick. The other box contained the shrimp, but it could only be opened by inserting the stick into a small slot. Kai had to figure out that he needed to open the first box to get the tool, and then use that tool to open the second box. This was a huge mental leap. It required understanding the concept of a tool. Kai spent the first day on this puzzle in complete confusion. He opened the first box and found the stick, but he seemed to think it was just a strange, inedible object. He discarded it and spent the rest of the time trying to force open the shrimp box. He failed. On day 69, he approached the puzzle again. This time, after opening the toolbox, he held onto the stick. He moved around the arena with it, tapping it against the walls, tasting it with his suckers. Then he approached the second box. Almost by accident, the stick touched the slot. A small light on the box blinked. Kai noticed. That tiny blink of light was the key. He froze for a moment, then deliberately pushed the stick into the slot. The box clicked open. He had done it. He had learned to use a tool. From that day on, any puzzle involving a tool was easy for him. The system had presented its toughest challenge yet, and Kai had risen to meet it. We were witnessing a form of intelligence that was flexible, observant, and capable of making incredible conceptual connections. He was not just a puzzle solver. He was becoming a tool user. How does Kai's intelligence compare to other smart animals? When we think of animal intelligence, we often think of chimpanzees or crows. A chimpanzee can learn sign language and use complex tools. A crow can solve multi-step puzzles that are similar to the ones we gave Kai. But Kai's intelligence is fundamentally different. A chimp has hands with fingers much like ours. A crow has a beak and feet that it uses with great skill. Their bodies and brains are more like ours. They have a centralized brain that sends commands to their limbs. Kai's intelligence is distributed. Imagine a crow trying to solve one of our puzzles. It would use its beak and its eyes. It would look at the problem, think about it, and then act. Kai's approach is totally different. He seems to think with his entire body. When he touches a puzzle box, his arms are not just feeling it. They are tasting it and processing information locally. Each arm can explore a different part of the puzzle at the same time. This decentralized thinking allows for a unique kind of multitasking that mammals and birds are not capable of. He can try 8 different solutions at once. Let's consider a dolphin, another highly intelligent animal. Dolphins have complex social lives and can communicate with each other. They can learn to understand abstract commands from trainers, but they have no hands. Their ability to manipulate objects is very limited. They can't open a screw-top jar. Kai, on the other hand, is a master manipulator. His body, with its boneless, flexible arms and powerful suckers, is perfectly designed for it. He combines his physical abilities with his sharp mind. This makes him a unique kind of problem solver in the animal kingdom. So, while a crow or a chimp might solve a puzzle in a way we find familiar, Kai's solutions often surprise us. He finds shortcuts we didn't see. He uses parts of his environment we considered irrelevant. His intelligence is a product of his strange and wonderful body and his evolutionary history. He is a lone hunter who must outwit his prey and avoid his predators all by himself. His intelligence is solitary, creative, and a little bit mischievous. It reminds us that there is not just one way to be smart. There are many different kinds of minds on our planet. As we approached the end of the 100-day experiment, we decided to try something different. For the final week, starting on day 94, we would present Kai with the exact same puzzle every day. The puzzle was a moderately difficult one. It involved a color sequence and the use of a simple tool. On day 94, Kai solved it in about 6 minutes. We expected that by day 100, he would be able to solve it almost instantly. We wanted to see if his speed would improve with repetition. What happened was something we never predicted. On day 95, he solved the puzzle in 4 minutes. On day 96, he solved it in 2 minutes. He was getting faster, just as we thought. But on day 97, something changed. When presented with the familiar puzzle, Kai refused to solve it. He approached the puzzle box, touched it briefly, and then moved to the other side of the arena. He stayed there for the entire 15-minute period, occasionally squirting a jet of water at the camera. He seemed bored. The challenge was gone. The puzzle was no longer interesting to him, so he simply chose not to play. We were fascinated. On day 98, we presented the same puzzle again. This time, Kai did something even more surprising. He picked up the tool, went over to the puzzle box, and instead of using the tool to open it, he threw the tool at the camera lens. It was a clear and deliberate act of defiance. It was as if he was telling us, "This is boring. Give me something new." He was not just a subject who performed tasks for a food reward. He was an active participant who wanted to be mentally stimulated. He was protesting the lack of a new challenge. On the final 2 days, 99 and 100, he continued his strike. He would not engage with the puzzle at all. His message was clear. For an intelligent mind like his, repetition was a form of punishment. He craved novelty. He wanted to learn and explore. The greatest prize for him was not the shrimp. It was the satisfaction of solving a new problem. This final, unexpected twist was perhaps the most important discovery of the entire experiment. It showed us that his motivation came from an inner sense of curiosity, not just from a simple desire for food. The 100 Days with Kai changed everything we thought we knew about intelligence. We started with a simple question: can an octopus outsmart a human system? The answer is a resounding yes. But the real lesson was much deeper than that. Kai taught us that intelligence is not a single measurable thing, like height or weight. It is a diverse and beautiful spectrum of abilities. It is about adaptation, creativity, curiosity, and even personality. Kai's mind was not better or worse than a chimpanzee's or a human's. It was simply wonderfully different. We learned that a truly intelligent being does not just solve problems, it redefines them. Kai did not limit himself to the rules we set. He saw the entire arena, its plumbing, its walls, and its observers as part of the puzzle. This ability to see the bigger picture, to think outside the box, is a hallmark of high intelligence. He showed us that the environment and the body shape the mind. His fluid, decentralized way of thinking is a direct result of his fluid, boneless body. He thinks with his arms, he explores with his skin, and he learns with his whole being. Perhaps the most important lesson from Kai was about the nature of consciousness itself. His moments of play, his frustration, his clear preferences, and his final protest against boredom showed us that there was a rich inner world inside that strange and wonderful body. He was not an automaton performing for treats. He was a character. He had a will of his own. This forces us to look at other animals, even the ones most different from us, with a new sense of wonder and respect. Who else are we underestimating? What other minds are out there, waiting to be understood? Our 100-day journey with Kai has come to an end, but the questions it raised will stay with us forever. We set out to test an octopus, but in the end, the octopus tested us. It challenged our assumptions, our creativity, and our definition of intelligence. We learned that the ocean holds minds that are as deep and mysterious as the waters they inhabit. And if we are willing to listen, they have so much to teach us. Kai showed us that a conversation with another mind, no matter how different, is one of the most profound experiences we can have.